moved to LA, go to UCLA, and she drive a Maserati, then she got a body, she be tryna party, she be tryna party, she just moved to LA, go to UCLA, and she drive a Maserati, then she got a body, she be tryna party, she be tryna party. Sometimes you gotta lose somebody just to find you really love someone. Ooh, and I do, and I do, and I do, yeah. Sometimes you gotta lose somebody just to find you really love someone. Ooh, she be tryna party, she just moved to LA.
So hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First nigga gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Fall so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that those shit fade. Next to go, 0 for 82 when I look at you like this shit crazy. Fall so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even supposed to be here. Fall so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm libo, go Michael. Take the pick, Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, game 6. All right. There we go. We'll put that in the background. Chat, what's up? Welcome. It's your boy Jack. Checking things out on YouTube. All right, we're going to hit change the screen. Oh, I need to mod Pantauga. Pantauga, are you in the chat? I don't know how to do any of this stuff, yo. I don't know how to do none of it. All right, we'll throw it over on Chili. Guys, what's up? Welcome. Welcome on in. I don't even know if the chat... Y'all spam the chat for a second. Let me see if this is all, like, properly working. I see Pantauga, but the chat's not flowing through to the screen over here. Interesting. Pantauga, you are now modded. What's up, Josh? YouTube is better than Twitch? Not necessarily, but I do want to grow on both platforms. Twitch is already done well. I haven't gotten a lot of traction on YouTube, so I'm going to try to counter that by having live streams. So this is why we do little demo off regular time. Okay. Off regular time streams. So that moments like this, I can write stuff down. I literally have a pen and paper. I'm gonna write this down. YouTube chat. All right, one thing of many. We'll keep a list as more things go. Pretty cool. We need to explode our boy on YouTube. Hey, we'll try, man. We'll try. I feel like I just got to get in front of people. Usually, most people end up liking me, but I got to get in front of them first. So, okay. If I remember how Wendy and Tom always handle these YouTube streams, it goes something like this. Guys, thanks for coming in. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Which is very strange because over on the other site, subscribing is different. It implies a payment, you know? So it's a different deal. But if you will help me do that. Also, I don't know all the tricks of like how you should name your stream or if you should do hashtags or not hashtags, that kind of stuff. So I don't know how to do a lot of that. Most. That's true, Mrs. Nipple. Not everybody likes me, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. All right, chat. You lucky few. You amazing few. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for helping me beta test this stuff. Let's try some of the other scenes. Like when we look at web stuff. Everything. Chat, be sure to give us some input on your side. How's everything looking on your end? Does this all look all right? Is there anything weird? Anything look off? The color's strange. There's a bit delay. There's a lag. My mouth doesn't match with the audio. Any of that kind of stuff. Let us know. Because we want to make this a good experience for everybody. How you guys liking the mug today? The mug choice. It's probably not super appropriate, right? As we finally get some green candles. But it was just the only one clean, okay? The only one clean. Guys, let's look at a few things. Yeah, looks good. First things first, thank you to BingX for being a sponsor of the stream. Big shout out to them. They've been a great partner, and they are very supportive of everything we do. You look shorter somehow. I don't like that. Pantauga? Lesbian, what's up, my man? LC, what's up? Dude, shout out to Lesbian Cow. In fact, I need to pause the music real quick. Alex, pause the... Hey. Yeah, thank you. LC is a real Bitcoin OG, by the way, and he helped connect somebody building a physical Bitcoin... Well, that's probably not the right way to put it, but let's call it a Bitcoin museum with Charlie Shrim, and they recently did a podcast and kind of opening people's eyes to the world of collectibles. By the way, LC, I want to show you this. YouTube 1080p doesn't look like Twitch 1080p. Am I high? Well, again, maybe I did something wrong, and you gotta tell me this. Mantis, what's up, man, my man? So check this out. Please hold. Please hold. You'll like this. All right, check this out. This was a gift from the wife, okay? So right here is a little platform, right? There's nothing on it. Just a little platform. Nothing there. My hand's on it. Oh, it's a magnet. It's a magnet to put things on display. It's just floating in the air. Oh, crap. Dude, that scared. This comes down hard. I don't know if you realize just how fast that falls when you knock it off its face. All right. So there, you want a pro and a con? You want a pro and a con to something? There's the con. It could shoot like a rocket, dude. I'm like sweating. That scared the shit out of me. All right, there you go. LC Mantis. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but I thought you guys would like that. You could put any of your slabbed things, whatever it is, you could put it on there. Pretty cool. Dude, that scared the hell out of me. All right, getting back to the charts. Jeez. God, I'm telling you, I'm sweating. Give me a second. That PSA is now 9.5. Yeah. I think I just devalued my own card live. All right, let's look at Bitcoin, guys, because to me, and just like I tweeted out, be sure to follow me on Twitter. This is the most important thing in all of crypto, all of Bitcoin, all of anything, and it is the macro falling wedge that is on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's macro falling wedge. Now, what a falling wedge is, let's just kind of go over here. Let's use the whiteboard really quick. Falling wedge is something like this. When price action comes from a higher point and ping pongs around in this like very condensed triangle-y type pattern. Now, what typically happens is there's a big break to the upside. So this is actually a bullish reversal pattern, which is why the very first thing I have listed here is breakout implications is bullish macro reversal. So whatever time frame you can identify this on, the higher the better. This will lead you to be able to identify some sort of, maybe this is a 1 week reversal, maybe this is a 1 month reversal, maybe this is a 1 year reversal, right? So we gotta, it really does matter just how much time was spent in here. So we'll look at that in a second. But here's the flip side. The flip side to this is, should this break down, perhaps a failed breakout, and ultimately break down, you'll see this move very hard and very fast. And as we're looking at Bitcoin, you can obviously draw the conclusion that, well, if Bitcoin goes down or up, then the alts will likely follow in a sort of multiple. So if Bitcoin falls 5%, you can bet your bottom dollar that like Litecoin or Sol or whatever will go up or down 10% or 20%, while Bitcoin's only moving 5%. So this is very normal. So that breakdown is a breakdown to the downside and implies steep bearish continuation. So let's go back and look at the actual pattern. Well, remember I said the amount of time spent in this is a big deal. Let's look at how long we spent. We've been in here 200 days. 200 days. Now let's look at the last time we had a parabolic breakdown into a sort of bottomy pattern, what we hope is a bottomy pattern. You might recall this breakdown back in 2018 into 2019. And how long did we spend in this period, in this trade range? Only 130 days. So we're already at like an extra 80 to 100 days longer, and as far as consolidation goes, in this particular pattern than we were over in 2019's, what ended up being the bear market bottom pattern. So I am watching this very, very closely. Sorry, log got turned on. Don't know why. And here is why. We're going to do one of two things, and only one of two things. We're either going to break out and the bear market is behind us and everybody applauds, or we're going to debate once more. This is why I have the debate zone, because every time we've broken into this zone has been a reversal. Every single time. Call it once, twice, 3 or 4 times, depending on how you look at it. 5th time, and then now here we are again. So we either moonshot out of this thing and send it back to 30K, let's say, nice round number, or it's the Goblin Town shot, the Doomsday shot. Like, this is going to go down very hard, very fast. Now, this is why most of the time you don't see a pattern like this just kind of drift to new lows. This is, you know, because there's a lot of people out there like, oh, well, if we go down, I'll have plenty of time to act. I'll get my shorts in. I'll trade it, you know, so effectively. I'll be like pro crypto trader guy. All these people here and here and here and here, all these guys are betting on a move to the upside. Every one of them. This is why the market is able to rally over about 200 days. This is not by accident. Every one of these people are going from net short to net long. Okay, so this is the way to kind of, in your brain, think about what's happening here. Oh, let me get rid of that and that and that. Okay, so basically imagine everybody was essentially net short, and now they're going net long. Okay, which is fine, and perhaps that works out perfectly. But should things start looking bad, pick your reason why. I'm not here to give you a reason why. Just look at the charts. Should things start to break down, a breakdown would essentially run all the stops of everyone in here and here and here and here. Not only would stops be run, but simultaneously, people who were, let's say they had a lot of confidence because we haven't gone back and rerun lows or whatever it is, now they're all rushing for the exit. So everybody who can see, oh, that was support and that was support, and now, you know, we're back down in here. Everybody is panic selling, and imagine it's like screaming fire in a crowded theater, and that's kind of the results you get. So that's where you'll get these big sweaty candles to the downside. If we do trend down, I hope we don't. If we do, just a quick reminder that my macro thesis has and will continue to be, until proven otherwise, a visit down to the, what I'm calling the pandemic fractal, down to the lows, because this is what happened last pandemic. If you're interested more in that, I have a YouTube video that goes all into it. Mods could probably link that for me since I'm focused on this part of it. But this is very, very interesting to me. I would not be surprised if we do just turbo send it down to this kind of $4,000 to $5,000 level, consolidate for about a year, and then send it. That's the bearish take. Remember, I'm the kind of guy where I want to see the worst case scenario happening well before it happens. So a lot of people be like, Jack, why do you even talk about going to 4K or 5K? And the answer is because if we do it, I want to be the guy who's like watching the charts. I'm like, oh shit, hey, we went to 5K. Hey babe, what are we eating tonight? Like, it's fine. It has no effect on me. It's like training for a big fight, and then the big fight day comes and I'm mentally ready. I'm prepared. Doesn't mean that I'm hoping for that. Doesn't mean that I'm like shorting everything. I don't think now's the time to short. I think now's the time to dollar cost average. But I do want to be able to see it coming and perhaps plan accordingly with at least some of my stack, maybe 10% of my stack or something. Mods, thank you for linking the YouTube video. If you want to know more about this, you're welcome to check it out. Now let's talk about the bullish setup. I think I'm gonna actually delete this because I'm kind of tired of all that. Now, oh, actually no, we can leave that. Let's go to the BLX, which is the history of Bitcoin. Yes, this is what I want to show. So here is something very, very interesting. And this is what I pointed out the last couple streams. These vertical lines are the halvings. The halvings are very important to us. These are things we want to always keep our eye on. We are now entering a period of time that is what I'm referring to as the year before the halving. Okay, so this is the year before the halving, and the next halving is estimated to be, call it 18 months from now. 12 months, 18 months. Doesn't really matter, but over a year from where we are today, we can all kind of agree on that. So here's what's very interesting to me is if you look at pivots, which is a mathematical model where this is calculated on January 1st and then extended out with a first level resistance, the pivot level itself, which is the most important thing, and then a first level support. You can see that back in 2018 into 2019, we fell below the first support. We consolidated for a bit of time and then broke up. Now, in hindsight, this was the bear market bottom. We didn't have any way to know that at the time, but we did know that at the start of this period of time, which again, I'm calling the year before the halving, price rallied hard as hell. It went way up there, right? This is a really nice run. Now, let's look at where we are today. We had a really sweaty downtrend. Price closed with some essentially consolidating. I'm calling this falling wedge consolidation. Consolidated below the first level support. And we have a pivot and a first R1 first level resistance well above us, right? So the pivot itself is about 25,000. The R1 is about 33,000. So what if, and this is, if you want a little bit of a bullish take, here it is. What if we do essentially the same thing that we did at the same point of last cycle? So again, 2019, what if we have this real sweaty breakout, go up to the first pivot, maybe consolidate a bit, break up, and then finish this more local run, just like what we did back in there, up at the R1, and note how the price consolidated into the R1. So this is what's very important to me. Not only that, see how it consolidated kind of to a point, and if I extend that out, look how important this was through the rest of the bear market. Like this level, this what ended up being 10K, this 10K level was everything going forward. So we're going to watch what happens, number one, with this falling wedge, and number two, whatever happens next is probably going to be just as important as the 10K level was last bear market. So we got to keep our eye on all this stuff. So again, last thing, not to beat a dead horse, but I think it'd be super cool if we break up, just full send it through the first level pivot and consolidate up at the R1. And then, all the horrors that may come after are after, right? But we're looking for good trade setups. And I think that would be very interesting to pay attention to. So this is why, all this being said, we can't even do that first move where we break up to the R1 or we break up to the pivot. We can't even do that until we break out of the falling wedge, which is why I tweeted out what I think the most important pattern in all of crypto or Bitcoin or whatever you want to say is the macro falling wedge right here, because this is everything. We break up, we go to the moon, we break down, we go down to the pandemic lows. It's that simple in my mind. who this is. What's up, Saudi? How you doing, bud? It's not about buying the bottom. It's about getting a piece of the bottom. Bouse. Dude, I love it. Exactly. Here's the flip side. I have good friends who I'm a huge proponent in you guys all coming up with a plan and sticking to your own plan, right? And a good friend of mine, or several good friends of mine, are like, look, I'm out until the next halving. Like, Bitcoin can do what it wants. It can go to 5K, it can go to 50K. I don't care. I'm not touching it till the next halving. And to be honest, that's like not a bad move. And I don't hate that at all. So if that's what your plan entails, then by all means go for it. But for those of us who are stupid enough to sit here and try to big brain it, like probably you and me and everybody who's watching this, this is very important, right? Because if I've got money on the side with a trade stack, let's say, then I want to be the guy who's buying the breakout. I want to get a piece of any sort of real deal breakout in the event we go up to 24 or 33. And then I'll close the long there or look for signs that I need to close, that kind of thing. But at least I'm not going to sit all the way through it. The flip side is I'll be the guy buying, let's say this does break out. I'll be buying at, let's call it 18 to 19K, maybe a little bit later than some of these. But I wasn't the guy buying at 25 and then panic selling down at 16. It's a very different mindset. Not getting chopped up is every bit as important as playing things perfectly or nailing the bottom. In fact, sometimes you can come out with a larger Bitcoin stack if all you do is wait for high degree of confidence in the charts, rather than being like, oh, we're bullish. Oh, crap, we're bearish. Oh, we're bullish, we're bearish. We're bullish, we're bearish. And all through that, you lose 5% of your stack every time you miss. 5%, 5%, 5%. And before you know it, you've lost half your capital. You know what I mean? It's big brain time. There you go. All right, chat, let's pause. Reset the room real quick. I primarily stream over on Twitch. This is the first time apparently I've streamed on YouTube before, but I didn't even remember it. So years ago, I streamed on YouTube, I guess. But this is my first time in my recent memory that I've been on YouTube. So everything is kind of new. Some things have already broken. I'm taking notes on a little notepad of things that are wrong. Please give me some feedback or the mods feedback if something is off, something looks weird, whatever, from sound to visuals to whatever, and we'll do our best to fix it in the off time. Again, in the spirit of resetting the room, please be sure to like the little stream, because we're only going to go, I don't know, we'll go for about an hour, maybe a little more. But then also, I'm trying to build up subscription levels, and I want you guys to subscribe. So subscribe to my YouTube. Now, here's why, and I'm very transparent about all this. Hold on, I'm turning on a fan because I'm still sweating from when I dropped that thing. I think I can help a lot of people. Like, with this kind of mindset of like, no, zoom out, don't panic, all these things. These are not things that your traditional YouTube TA guy is going to tell you. They're just not. So the more people I can get in front of, the more people I can help. This is my mindset. Whenever I go and talk to these like conferences that are going on, I'm like, hey, I'd love to do a little workshop on technical analysis or something like that. One of the first questions is, how many YouTube followers do you have? And it's like this eye roll. It's like, whoa. Don't you want to hear like the quality? No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So if I want to play in that, if I want to swim in that pool, I've got to be able to play this self-marketing game and get your numbers up and blah, 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 all that stuff. So I'm very transparent about it. This is my aim. This is my angle. So what I think going forward I'm going to do is still do my 2 times a week on Twitch, just like I always have. And then anytime I have time for like a secret stream or whatever, I'll be doing that on YouTube. And hopefully between all that, then we can, hopefully grow this side of it. But I have almost 10K over on Twitch. I only have 1,000 on YouTube. And we're in a bear market. The algo is not going to give me any love. It's just not. It's just how it is. So anyway, nice visuals. Thank you, Drogon. On YouTube, wow, liked and sub as well. Got to go. Have a great evening. See ya. Bye, Small. How you doing, buddy? Litecoin conference. Yeah, so I did speak at the Litecoin conference. Had a good time doing all that. And as a result, I handed them all out. Look, it's going crazy. Hold on. I've been told this is distracting. We'll put that there. All right. As a result of going to the Litecoin conference, I made some contacts with Ballet, and I'm going to record a unboxing for a lot of Ballet stuff. I put out a tweet talking about it. If you didn't see it yet, it's fine. But it's like all this stuff plus more. I should get the rest by like Friday. But I'll do a big unboxing. If you guys can want to see what that's about, be sure to, subscribe to YouTube and all that. Get a soundboard. Dude, I suck at that stuff, Desi. Pentaga's been telling me that for like years. All right, let's look at Ethereum because I think Ethereum is super interesting. Just like that falling wedge is very important. Well, so is Ethereum. Ethereum is breaking out of... To my chagrin, I'm not an Ethereum maxi, so understand I'm vomiting inside as I'm relaying actual information. But we have this parabolic downtrend. Again, if I inverted this chart, this is what you want your uptrend to look like. Going parabolic to the moon, right? But again, this was inverted. If I, uninvert it, we have a breakout. That is, you can't ignore that. We're on daily candles. There's no way I can, finagle stuff to where this is not a breakout. This is a true blue breakout. There's nothing about it that is bad. The only thing that I don't like, there's like two aspects of this I dislike. Number one, there's no volume. There's nobody buying Ethereum that would, this is not the type of volume that you want to see for like buckle up, we're going to the moon kind of breakout stuff. Like you want to see a big impulse of some sort. Whether that's sellers that are trying their hardest to knock things to new lows or whatever. But like the fact that this is just kind of like womp womp. So this is why I'm also keeping an eye on, I'm just moving that so we can focus. I'm keeping my eye on this, what is considered an order block. I'm watching what happens with the lows were perfectly respected. The highs have been respected twice. And oh, would you look at that? We're back up at it. Also, I'm not a huge momentum indicator fan, but on the daily, the RSI is usually pretty useful. And so each of these has been relatively good. It's not perfect, and don't go all in or all out or whatever based on RSI, but use it as another tool in the toolbox. RSI has been pretty useful when it's overblown, especially when you get up and out of some of these more recent impulses. And here we are back again. So just in the spirit of fairness, there are times when RSI stays overblown. This is why I don't love these indicators. So basically, like, it's telling you things are overblown through that entire period of time. And that was like a full 30 to 60 days, right? So how is that useful? I don't know. It's not all that useful, but it's just another thing to keep in mind. The fact that we have not broken above a horizontal. We have not had significant volume, and the RSI is up at the top. Just be careful, right? Ratchet the margin down from 100 to 10, let's say, if you're like, we're going to the moon and that kind of stuff. So just be very careful with respect to all that. The other thing I do want to point out that I just feel like in the spirit of fairness, again, I'm not an F maxi. I think it's all kind of overblown, but that's beside the point. On the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, there is this trend line, this diagonal that goes all the way back to September of last year. Okay, September of 22. Draw a diagonal, and we've had about a week breakout, and that's not bad, right? Forget the volume, forget RSI. Let's just focus on that. This is a diagonal for how long is that? 3 months, 4 months, and we have a 7-day breakout. So, yeah, I like that with respect to taking a trade. That's a good sign. That's really promising. Now, if I zoom out, I don't know what Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair is doing. On the macro, don't ask me to TA it because I don't know. This is not my forte. I kind of hate it. I hate these patterns. I saw somebody do this on another stream. This is not my content. This was just somebody else did this, right? So if I got rid of that and that and that, and maybe, but if you want to go like a decade into the future, then perhaps we're just range bound for a full decade or something. I don't know. I don't think that's really all that helpful, so I'm just deleting that. And let's just focus on what we really can point to reasonably is what has been resistance was finally broken out of, and it is what it is. Is this going to be on demand like Twitch? I don't know, Alan. I think so. I think it will be. Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. I'm sorry. All right, Litecoin on the dollar pair. Litecoin on the dollar pair. There's a couple really interesting things going on. Number one, we have this trade range that goes all the way back to May. This is a big deal. Anytime you can even remotely go from a downtrend to sideways, you need to perk up, because only one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to stay in the trade range until a big move happens, or you're going to first get a fake out to the upside before new lows. Do I know which is which? No, but what I can say is right now your buys should be up. Your buys should be up for two reasons. Number one, we are above the trade range after a little retest. Number two, we have broken this kind of more medium time frame downtrend with lots of little like fake outs and debates and this and that, and then a real clean breakout with consolidation. And I know I said two reasons, but I'm going to give you a third just because I like you guys and you're handsome and pretty. If you throw it on the weekly, you can turn on the weekly 20 exponential moving average, and you note how this entire downtrend, this is kind of where you smacked your head against. This was like the ceiling. Well, this more recent retest was a breakout retest of the 20 week exponential moving average retest and trend higher. So this is actually a really nice trend reset. So here's the $1 million question, and I don't have the answer, so don't even ask. Are we gonna do like what happened back in 2020, where we get this kind of like breakout and then everything nukes, or a follow-up breakout and then everything sucks again, or so implying something like this? Or is it really going to go to the moon? Is really all of crypto across the board going up? Is Bitcoin going up? Ethereum? I mean, we have breakouts across the board, so you can't act like they're not there. They are there. So here's how I make sense of all this and kind of make my peace with it, especially when it comes to strategy and planning and stuff like that. Here's what I do. All right, can we identify a trade range? Yes. I'm going to get rid of this just so this is super, super clear. All right, really just 20 IQ. Where's our trade range? Where's the boundary of our trade range? Well, it's probably here and here, right? This is something relatively reasonable. And by the way, that's the bottom one is there because I was playing with the line chart. But let's just, and we need to use multiple touches, right? Like, so these follow-up touches. So like what happened in here. So I have to give credit there. So I know this is kind of ugly in here. I get it. This is part of my hesitation, but just ignore it for now. So let's just assume that this is the trade range high and low. At least we can agree that this is probably a pretty good trade range high, especially with respect to that and that and that and that. Like, the market is respecting this level. So let's just say, all right, maybe we can argue on this, but for now we can agree on this right here. So here's how things work in my little brain. If I understand that Wyckoff redistribution is the scariest thing I can be presented with, right? This is the worst thing that could happen. And if Wyckoff redistribution is defined by a trade range formed, run of the highs, and then a return into the trade range before downtrend, well, that means that I can kind of be net long or looking up or whatever until we close back in here. And then I have to be cautious again, right? Because that's the difference between going to the moon and going to new lows. It's effectively a return back into the low, inside the trade range. Below what was resistance is now support, you hope. And as long as that holds, you're good, right? We go to the moon. But if we do not do that, then you can bet your bottom dollar we go on to make new lows. So if this is true and this is reality and this is how every coin behaves always, and that is how it goes, then what we can at least do is build a plan that says, this is where I'm scared. I'm scared back below $73, $74. This is when I worry. This is when I cut my longs. And what you don't want to do is give it all back and then sit on it for losses, right? So as long as you're in this little uptrend, you're good. Now, so even though the bias is up, this is what I'm trying to imply. This is what I'm saying. I'm not implying it. I'm saying it outright. The bias is up. That being said, I hate up only. I hate up only. I hate up only. Up only stuff rugs people and loses more money than anything else. And there's no arguing that this has been nothing but up only since October. Now, I know there's been a lot of volatility and sell-offs and this and that, but nobody who entered these longs has really been run. These stops have not been run unless it was like, you know, for a moment in time, for a brief little instance in time. And that's not really what you want to see, right? Before you go to the moon, a lot of times what you'll see is they run the lows, they come back, and then they go to the moon, right? So this little action right here stops everybody out who is net long. And that's what we haven't seen. And not only have we not seen that, but it's kind of up only. And as pointed out last stream, there is an argument to be made that there's a sort of rising wedge, which is a bearish reversal kind of thing, right? So, and again, if we get back below here, this is where my bias flips to looking to new lows. Until then, it's up. So it's this very kind of like, I don't know. So be very careful here. If you want a DCA, go for it. If you think Litecoin's going to do really well next cycle, I'm with you. But judging by how things have gone in the past, don't forget, especially with respect to the BLX, which is the entire history of Bitcoin, most of the time we don't have a true bull run, and I mean like a sustained run to new highs and all that, until the halvings, right? And the halving is not tomorrow. We're a year and a half away from it. So if you are taking some longs because you think it's a good time to do it, maybe you think, like I was pointing out before, we're going to have a sort of impulse rally back to 30K or whatever. Like if that's why you're taking the trade, by all means, do it. But at the same time, I would just strongly recommend that you don't fool yourself into thinking new all-time highs tomorrow. I've seen a lot of posts recently about, you talk about like a bias flip. Yesterday it was, we're going to go to zero and it's a failed experiment and the whole thing. And some, you know, now I'm seeing posts like 100K by April. It's like, all right, guys, come on, you know, pick one. It can't be both, you know, it's fine. Get something and stick to it. Jesus. Open interest? That's a great question. Where did we used to look at open interest? I haven't looked at that in forever. Open Bitcoin, open interest. Anybody remember? CoinGlass? When did CoinGlass? Yeah. This looks right. Open interest futures. Now, Desi very wisely asked about open interest in the chat. Now, the reason we care about open interest is twofold. Number one, this literally told us where the all-time highs were. So think of open interest as longs being taken, or loans rather being taken to buy more Bitcoin. So you'll see these big spikes, and when I say Bitcoin, I mean like crypto in general, Sol, Ethereum, whatever. We see these big spikes on this chart, and you'll see that the first spike is on April 12th of 2021. Well, if I go back to the chart, what happened on April 12th of 2021? Oh, it was this top, literally this, you know, in this top. So I think specifically it was that. So the Pico top always, and this is something we talked about it's on Twitch, not on YouTube. But when we nailed the first high, it was with a combination of Wyckoff distribution, which occurred, you know, in this box. We went through it on the lower time frame, and also we lined that up with whale wallets and open interest. And open interest spiked like a mofo. And think of this, I always joke around. I say this is like mom's credit card getting maxed out. So it's like everyone's looking around like, oh, where can I buy more? I need a loan. It's not enough to just put my own money into it. I need to take on debt to buy more crypto. And this is a great sign of a top. Now look at what happened again on the same chart. Once again, open interest actually made a new all-time high on November the, what is this? If I can do it, November the 8th of 2021. And what happened November the 8th of 2021? It was literally the Pico top again. So open interest, especially when it comes to highs, is very powerful and something I recommend, especially the next bull run. You guys, hopefully that you keep that in your brain and you remember that. So now fast forward to today, Open interest has dropped significantly. It's popped a little bit, but it's still there's a lot of room there, right? Now there's a subsequent argument to be made that, well, in bear markets, the open interest needs to go to next to zero because that's what happened last bear market. I'm not big brain enough to know that side of it. Really, the only way I use open interest and use it effectively is calling tops, because it's in combination with other factors. It's never just on its own, but I can't really say much about it right now. Now, here's another thing I can say. You will note that open interest tends to spike at some of these more local tops. So each of these, like that and that, I don't know about this one, but I do know that these correlate with these little impulse highs, like here and then in there. And then on the lower time frame, you could tell, especially when we consider how things were, there's not a whole lot going on. So, Desi, there you go, open interest. All right, chat. So I go over a lot of stuff on my Twitch streams, and I don't really want to just do another Twitch stream. But here, what do you guys want to look at? Y'all tell me. You pick something, I'll look at it. We'll go over it as a group. I kind of treat my streams as a classroom. I want you guys to be able to use knowledge from different setups like this. Maybe a year from now, we'll see Ethereum in a falling wedge, and you'll be like, oh yeah, Jack talked about falling wedges and all that kind of stuff. So, open question to the group. If not, I'll just pick something random. But what do you guys want to look at? And it's all good if you just want me to just to roll with it. I'll do it. Link? Look at Link. Link is very interesting to me. I like this. Here's what I like about Link. Link is like Litecoin in the fact that it's been in this kind of accumulation range, let's call it. This sideways range. After a massive downtrend, we can't forget like where it came from. This is so important to what's going on now. And what we have done is gone from, we being the Link people, I guess, from $53 all the way down to $5.30 in some cases, which is funny to me because you'll see that a lot. It'll be like, what's the all-time high? All right, what's 10% of that? Put your bids there. So Link specifically is something I really like because recently it ran the lows and now it's breaking the lower time frame downtrend. I think that's pretty cool. To me, this is a really high risk reward setup. You haven't missed a whole lot of the move with respect to what could be there. It's already broken out about 9 to 10% ish. I guess less really if we go to the candle itself. And then additionally, if you consider where it could go, which is close to the range highs, that's about a 60% move from breakout or another 50% from where it is today. So, you know, that's not bad. I wouldn't hate that. If you want to be more conservative, you could very quickly and easily see that there are times when the market sells off at this level, right? You've seen that a number of times. So maybe instead of being greedy for that 50%er, you just take 30 and you get a 30% trade from today. That could be cool. So Link is very interesting and I like it a lot as far as setups go. Somebody asked me to look at TRX next, and I'd be very happy to because I have not looked at that in forever. Now, one thing you learn about me, if you're new, I like to look at the dollar pair and I like to look at the Bitcoin pair. So let's look at Link Marines. Yeah. Let's look at the dollar pair. Oh, I need more history, so I'm actually going to get rid of this. TRX. Anybody know what has the oldest history? Usually it's stuff like Poloniex or... Yeah. Text, your song's on. If Tex is here. Few ways we've looked at this. Here's the 2 or 3 different ways we've looked at it. Now, quick little hint. Whenever you see a lot of wicks and stuff like that, this volatility that just makes things hard to read, throw on a line chart. It'll make your life so much easier. Like, I feel like I can breathe again. There we go. So I like this little double tap. We ran it. So all these little lines, right? This is all that matters, this downtrend. It's like as 20 IQ as that. And it's funny because I think I stand apart from a lot of people who do TA content. And give me just like a line and a mouse cursor and I'm good, man. And I'll outperform the majority of them. And it's as easy as being like, oh, trend break, go long. Oh, trend break, go short, or whatever. And on the lower time frame, it's you know, both a combination of understanding what came before and understanding what a parabolic move to the upside is and a parabolic retest. Look at how clean that parabola is for like giving you a heads up of, all right, time to get out. And so you have about a month. You have like this 30-day window of knowing when to get out. And now you've been out since then and you've just been sitting. And now here we are, a third the price. Mrs. Nipple, not really a chart question, but do you have a goal wealth-wise where you turn off the charts for good, or do you think you'll always trade? Dude, I love looking at this stuff. Honestly, I don't really need to do this, but I really enjoy doing it. It's like a passion project for me. And to me, that tells me that I'll probably always do it. Now it may look a little different. It may turn into speaking at conferences rather than, 3 days a week live streams or something like that, but it'll effectively be the same. I don't know that I'd give that up because a conference is me talking to you and you're lucky to listen to me and that kind of thing. I like the back and forth, and you guys know that about me. I love this. I love the kind of going back and forth. I love that. I would like to, let's say, I don't talk about this a lot. We only have like 20 something people watching. So I'll share a little insider stuff with you. I have been able to go from about $50 to just shy of $1 million, and protect it. You know what I mean? Like, and properly plan for it and understand what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. But forget the numbers. Like, who cares the numbers? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the numbers, and that's not a lot compared to a lot of people, especially the NFT guys, whatever. But here's what is really cool to me is like, I will outlast those guys. And I now have a starting place that a lot of people would just only dream of. And understanding what these markets are doing, it's almost like the infinite money glitch. So I don't know what the future has in store, but I am very blessed and I'm very happy with kind of how things have turned out. And I know it's like kind of like nothing money to a lot of people, but to me, it's a lot of money. I didn't grow up with money. And so the way I look at it is like, I am managing my kids' future. And so I take this stuff very serious. And that's the only reason I share that number. It's not I'm not wearing Rolexes and flashy shit and all that, but I do want you guys to understand I'm not just playing. Like, it's not a game to me. I do take this like very serious. And that's why I'm usually right when it comes to like, when I go toe to toe with somebody who's just a moon boy, like I put my money on me. I don't put it on them. Because they just are like, they don't have anything to lose. I've at least not lost it all over the last 6 years, you know? But thanks, guys. I appreciate the love. And again, don't go spreading that. I don't want a lot. I only said it because there's like nobody here. So I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. All right, let's look at Sol because I think Sol is super interesting with this big sweaty run. Nah, no way. No way, right? No shot, right? Nah. Nah. That would suck. And who knows, right? Who knows? But again, I don't love using RSI, and I don't recommend people always use it or anything like that. But I do think this is very interesting. Yo, you live on Twitch? I'm not, Parv. So the deal with Twitch is I can't dual stream Twitch. I'm a Twitch partner. So they give me love and do some stuff for me. But I can't stream on Twitch and on YouTube. I have to do them separately. So I'm trying this out as a way to kind of help grow the YouTube side of things. So every now and then I'll stream live here. Is this redistribution? It's an excellent question. This is actually a high time frame reversal pattern, but this is, I think there's some debate being played here. I'm basically calling BS on this being a macro reversal, and I could be completely wrong, and I recognize that rather. But let's go back to the whiteboard. I want you guys to understand what we're looking at. This is what's known as a right-angled descending broadening wedge. The right angle implies there's a level that's completely equal. Sometimes it is, when price does this is the right angled part, or as we see here, we do like this, where it's ping-ponging, and finally we have a breakout. So this is actually a macro reversal pattern. So if you were trading just the pattern, you would actually be like going long hard right here. I'm not really ready to do that. I need a lot more consolidation. But here's the deal. I'm toxic, but docs, dude, you're straight talk. You're docs, bro. What's up, man? Here's where this would turn into redistribution. You'd get a lot of heads up pretty early. Again, if I throw this on the 1 hour, you can see this has been in nothing but up only. There's like no arguing this is up only, and it's kind of annoying. I hate up only stuff. I will say that forever. But if this breaks, that's sign number one. So this uptrend is the first thing you'd look for redistribution. The second thing, and more importantly, just like we talked about before, is closing back in the trade range. So if you see Sol do something like this, which is very common, right? Because now you see the conversations about a head and shoulders. You see conversations about a trade range. We broke the trade range. Now we've come back and retested it. Oh, that's a little retest. You see all kinds of stuff. And you'll see multiple trade disciplines kind of all come into like one idea. And that's what you need for the next move, is everyone to kind of understand, at least like the high level guys, to understand what's coming. So I would not be surprised to see this, but until that happens, the trend is up, right? So you would basically just be longing every little visit to this this diagonal, this like 60-degree diagonal, until it stops. Now, one thing I will point out is on the volume side, what you'll see at Pico tops a lot of times is like the bulls. Think of it like this. When a whale starts its campaign to the upside, it's not just enough to break out, right? So that's big, right? And they need a lot of capital to do that because there's people shorting it all the way down. So they got to blow through those guys. So that takes a lot of capital. Then they need to sustain the trend, right? So you can see them kind of flowing in off and on. And then at the Pico top, they will blow every bit of their, think of it as like fuel for a rocket. They spend all the fuel that they have, all their money, to like, give it that final thrust. So look at these last two candles and look at respectively what they did. I'm going to zoom in because I want you to understand. It went from $15.40 to $17.50. And it's back to $16. So all this effort has really not done anything-ish. It's not done a whole lot. So here's what I would do. If I'm looking for a long, give yourself some kind of alpha, right? Give yourself an edge. Say, look, all right, I'm at least going to wait for a trend break. I'm at least going to wait for a downtrend break. And then maybe we get one more thrust up. But I'm not going to be the guy cashing out the people who bought down here. Because if you're buying up here at $16, you're cashing out the guys who bought at $8 in a bear market. Remember, we have not had macro confirmation with Bitcoin. We've not had macro confirmation of any of the things that we need to see for a full-on bear market's over. It's all behind us. It's up only, that kind of thing. So you got to be able to kind of put those emotions aside. And when you see volume like this, it will encourage you to like FOMO in sometimes. So find a way to give yourself some kind of edge. Look for a downtrend. You can at least convince yourself to wait on a break, or whatever, because what you don't want to do is be the guy who finally buys, reluctantly, oh, fine, I guess Sol's going to the moon after all. I'm so stupid. And the next thing you know, it falls to the downside. Now, what I think would be super, super, super interesting for Sol, especially, like specifically for Sol, is if this ends up being a more macro trade range. The thing I don't like about this being a full-on macro reversal is this is only like 2 months, 2.5 months. Time is everything in bear markets. Remember, Ethereum spent 2 years in its bear market bottom. So you would have to convince me that like, oh, well, yeah, Ethereum took 2 years, but Sol's that much better. It'll just be a couple months and it's good. It'll have bottomed. I don't know. I don't know that I buy that. What would make more sense is that this turns into some sort of, you know, more broad trade range to where at the end of it all, you could line it all up and be like, you know what? As we move into the next halving, you know what? This looks like a really nice breakout. Something like that. That makes a lot more sense to me. But we don't know that yet. We can't see it yet. We're just kind of like what ifing it. Can you please look at ADA? Yeah, what's up, Krissa? How you doing, buddy? Can you post your Twitch streams on YouTube after? You got to ask Pantauga. He's our video guy. I think it's a lot of work for him. But I'll tell you what, like, you got to remember, I have a day job and a family and the whole thing. I can't do anything more than what I already do. There's just no shot. Maybe if I do this full time one day, I could do that kind of stuff. ADA? I guess we haven't even looked at this yet. ADA. Now here's a nice break up out of a falling wedge. That's cool. Oh, wow. And it's like 2 falling wedges at once. Huh. All right. Well, here's the worry. Here's the worry. I'll tell you the worry. I'm a worrier, right? I'm protecting a bag. I'm trying not to give it all back, that kind of thing. So I have a different outlook than a lot of the up-only guys. What I don't want to happen is this rally really just be the start of the next downtrend. Like that rally, you know, this rally here, I don't want this to be a mirror of what happened back here. Does that make sense? So I would be very careful anywhere close to this level, which I think the market's doing. You see this big blow off candle and how everyone's kind of backed off it for a couple days. I think the market is seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Like, hey, look, the last time we had this kind of downtrend break, there's a really nice rally. Don't get me wrong, but then it just led to new lows. So I'd be very careful with what we're seeing here. Again, time is what gives you confidence at a bear market bottom, not a little impulsive move. So something like this for the next year, that's what I want to see. I mean, people are like, what, Jack, for a year? Yeah, bro, for a year. That's what I want to see. That's the confidence where I'm like, mortgage the house, sell the kids, put the wife on OnlyFans. We're going long with everything we got. But for now, this would be my, I guess, worry is probably the best way to put it. Like, you just don't want to be on the wrong side of that, if that makes any sense. And then 80 on the Bitcoin pair. Look at how the Bitcoin pair has respected this. Not super useful, the Bitcoin pair. I think the dollar pair is the most useful. I'll just keep my eye on that. And kind of observe this. Treat this as as like a channel. So Price likes to, no matter what the asset is, Price loves to do this kind of thing. And that's how I would view this until proven otherwise. You're definitely getting canceled. Yep, add it to the list. All right, so chat, how long have we done this? I don't even know how to read like my stats and stuff. Can you guys tell how long I've been live? Like an hour? I don't even know how to like tell what my stuff is. All right, well, we'll call it there. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for the test stream. Maybe we'll do a giveaway or something to generate a little buzz on the YouTube side. Again, I'm only trying to build the YouTube side so that I can eventually, you know, have more access to speaking engagements and this and that, and be able to help more people out. So about 60 minutes. All right. Thanks, Josh. Next stream feature Mrs. Jack and just berating people as they join. She would love that. She's kind of sick. Like, she's got to put up with me. You know what I mean? It's below the subscribe button. Well, I don't see that on my side. Analytics? I guess I can click analytics and look at it. Did I screw everything up? No. All right. Well, thank you guys. We're going to end it there. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at CryptoJackLive. YouTube. Be sure to, you know, we're here on YouTube. Be sure to click the subscribe button. I have to think like the follow or subscribe and all that stuff. And yeah, thanks for everything. Thanks for being here. I love you all. We'll try to do this more. We'll see you next time. Peace.